Well, we've all seen the teenagers with their phones just texting away. You've probably noticed just how fast their fingers can be. Well, here's an eye-opening sign of the times for you. Studies show out of all teenagers, 72% of them communicate through text messaging. More than half send 50 or more texts a day. The worst offenders are girls between the ages of 14 and 17, sending more than 3,000 texts per month.
Startling numbers.
Wow.
Especially when dangers associated with texting have become more and more apparent. In fact, the numbers suggest the temptation to text could actually be a hazard to your teen's health.
Blair Osgood's cell phone doesn't stay quiet for long. Her mom, Jane, got her the phone so they could keep in touch after school. She never imagined Blair would text away all day long.
Probably in the one language arts class, it was probably like, I don't know, like 100-ish, maybe.
Per class?
Per that class.
Hundreds of messages a day, 3,000 texts a month. Blair was a B and C student, but after the phone arrived, her grades dropped.
During that texting period, there was definitely a lot of work that was not getting turned in.
They have the keyboard memorized, so they look like they're paying attention, but their thumbs are feverishly tapping away.
Kevin Roberts is an expert in cyber addiction.
How many of you are here for your kids?
Roberts says many experts are divided over whether you can call excessive texting an addiction.
It's a powerful distraction.
A new study reports teens who are hyper-texters, that's 100 or more messages a day, are 40% more likely to smoke, 43% more likely to be binge drinkers, 41% more likely to use drugs, 55% more likely to get in physical fights, 3.5 times more likely to have sex, and 90% of those report having 4 or more sexual partners. Experts advise parents to not only monitor the number of texts kids make, but the time those texts are being sent and place restrictions. Blair is text-free now during the school day, and her grades have rebounded, although the temptation hasn't completely gone away.
They just like text me in the middle of class, and I'll be taking notes so I don't answer.
So what can you do to curb your teen's texting habits? Researchers say set limits and make it clear that you plan to monitor your kids' texting habits.
You might also want to go ahead and consider getting your teen a limited text cell phone plan. Study shows that teenagers with limited plans typically send only 10 texts a day.
So those are just a few options, and we wanted to know what you do to monitor your teen's texting, so we took the topic to Facebook. And Crystal Lee said, don't give them a phone. That solved my problem with my teen.
That would take care of it, wouldn't it? Josh said, learn to trust your teen, and if you're suspicious that your teen is hiding something, ask to see their phones. And if they don't, I'd take the phone.
Buffy said, my children, who are 12 and 14, both have iPods. However, they do not know the password to get into it. Therefore, in order for them to access it, they have to ask permission to use it, and for me to sign in for them each day, they are only permitted a total of 30 minutes of time on it.
Now here's one that I got to admit I really like from Ruth Ann. Teens, why not look at the adults? I was at 2 weddings/receptions recently, very upset at the adults who were doing it. Adults need to set the example.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that.
Sadly, I am too, and I got called on it too.
Did you really?
Yeah. I wasn't texting, but a text came in while I was driving, and I glanced at it, and I heard a 16-year-old from the back seat say, Dad.
Yeah, I got a text at the dinner table once as well.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yep.
Well, still ahead on Delmarva Life, they call her the Moses of needle art, and we're talking about Julia A. Purnell.
We'll learn more about the Snow Hill native's life that spanned 100 years, and we'll also tell you how you can see her work for free. Delmarva Life, life at its best, here on Delmarva.